Making how-to videos used to take me hours. I'd record, mess up, start over, and edit forever.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is DFG, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. I'm coming to you live from the 571, where I'm having fun and I'm getting things done. Today, we're going to talk about a good subject that was given to me by Miss Nikki out of Atlanta. This past Monday, it got canceled. The Atlanta Hawks was going to host a Magic City night. Now, if you don't know, Magic City was a former, I don't know if it's still around, but it was an infamous gentleman's club, use the term gentleman loosely, and it was part of the Atlanta scene. It was, people went there. It was basically a tourist trap, and a lot of athletes and Atlanta-based rappers would go there to um to Magic City. If you listen to the song "Welcome to Atlanta" by JD and Ludacris. They mentioned it a couple of times. Uh, I'm about to go with this video, but before I start, I want to talk. I want my co-host to say hello. Chocolate Pearl, my favorite girl. What's going on?
Hey, 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 y'all, it's Chocolate Pearl, my brother's favorite girl. I'm calling you from Duval. I'm sorry I'm feeling down, but I had a very, very stressful day to point where I had a panic attack. So I'm going to still try to participate, but I'm not going to be as chipper as I was before. I'm going to try my hardest to. So y'all pray for me.
All right, all right. We had a gas leak at work today, so I definitely understand. And also another one of my co-hosts who also happens to be a sister of mine from the same Mr. and the same Mrs. Miss Apple, the lady of sweetest snapper, the New York City girl. What's going on? You on mute, Apple. You still on mute. Can't hear a word you're saying. I guess she on mute today. She done got
There we
her.
go. Hi, everybody.
I was about to say you got a new phone and you got
I'm still
fancy.
trying to learn how to do it. Good evening, everybody. That's it. That's all.
Okay, let's get this thing started. I'm gonna put it on. I'll put on the video in a couple of seconds, and y'all will
I was just
see
saying,
what.
my beautiful sister, I said, tell us where you're calling from today.
I'm actually calling from Columbia, South Carolina. I'm visiting family, as you know.
Woo-hoo!
The
That's
Metro,
Uh,
the Metro. That's what's up. That's what's up. We're all from New York City, but the Metro is our second home, so we always go back. Sports teams celebrating adult-oriented businesses is a cultural tightrope. On the one hand, it's honest. These venues are part of the local identity, employ real people, and generate huge economic impact. On the other hand, teams brand themselves as family-friendly, and partnerships like this can clash with community expectations and sponsor comfort levels. Let's talk about when sports meet strip club. Should teams celebrate adult-oriented businesses?
I really can't hear
This
it.
is exploring how the Atlanta Hawks, Magic City Monday, and the wider debate. Welcome to the show, where we break down the cultural collisions shaping sports, entertainment,
Sorry,
and
Dre, it was me.
society. This is DFG, and today we're diving into a surprisingly complicated situation sparked by the Atlanta Hawks Magic City Monday celebration. Should sports organizations publicly honor or partner with adult-oriented businesses? It's a topic that sits at the intersection of culture, economics, branding, and community values. Let's unpack the pros, cons, and other broader implications. Let's start with why this is even a debate. Adult entertainment venues, especially iconic ones like Magic City, aren't just businesses. They're cultural institutions, economic engines, and in some cities, are part of the local identity. But they're also adult-only spaces with reputations that make some fans, families, and sponsors uncomfortable. So when a sports franchise that markets itself as family-friendly chooses to celebrate a strip club, it raises eyebrows. Let's talk about the pros. Cultural honesty in cities like Atlanta, Miami, Houston, and Las Vegas. The adult entertainment scene is deeply woven into music, lifestyle, and celebrity culture. Acknowledging that in reality can feel refreshingly honest instead of sanitized. There's also an economic recognition. Adult-oriented businesses employ thousands, dancers, DJs, security, cooks, bartenders, and contribute significantly to most local economies. Celebrating them can be a nod to workers who rarely get public recognition. There's a community connection. Magic City, for example, is a major part of Atlanta's identity, referenced in music, and is known globally. It supported local artists. A sports team embracing that can strengthen its bond with the city's cultural heartbeat. Another instance is breaking stigma. Adult entertainment is legal work. When major institutions acknowledge it, it can help reduce stigma around the people who work in the industry. Let's be real. It gets attention. It sparks conversations, drives engagement, and creates a moment. Sports love team moments. Now, let's look at the cons. Brand conflict. Sports franchises market themselves as family-friendly entertainment. Celebrating a strip club can clash with that image and alienate parents or conservative fans. There are sponsor sensitivities. Corporate sponsors, especially national brands, tend to associate and avoid those with entertainment for adults. A team risks backlash, poor scholarships, or sponsorships, and strained relationships. There's a matter of community standards. Not every city or franchise or fan base is comfortable with adult-oriented businesses being elevated to cultural institution status. Some see it as inappropriate or morally objectionable. There's a slippery slope. If a team celebrates a strip club, where's the line? When they celebrate a casino, a betting company, a marijuana dispensary, teams have to think about precedent and workers' safety and exploitation concerns. Even though many adult venues operate ethically, the industry has well-documented issues around exploitation, trafficking, and unsafe work conditions. Critics argue that celebrating the industry without acknowledging these realities is irresponsible. Let's take a look at the bigger picture. This debate isn't really about one basketball game. It's about what counts as culture. Who gets to define a city's identity, how sports team balances authenticity with broad appeal, whether adult entertainment can be recognized without being sexualized in a family setting, and how society treats adult workers. Celebrated in music, ignored in policy, stigmatized in public. Sports teams are increasingly trying to reflect real culture of their cities and not just the sanitized version. But with that comes trade-offs. The big question is, should they do it? There's not really a universal answer. It depends on the city's culture, the team's brand, the fan base's values, the nature of the partnership, and the way the celebration is planned. Both with respect to acknowledgement of local institutions is very different from sexualized marketing. Execution matters. On closing, Hawks, Magic City Monday isn't just a gimmick, it's a cultural statement. Whether people love it or hate it, it forces a conversation about what we consider legitimate, valuable, and worthy of recognition. That conversation is long due. This is DFG, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and smooth as a Rolls Royce. I ask that you like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps the algorithm and helps me to make more things like this. I have to really work on my editing skills. I thought I had it down. It sounded a lot better in practice. Well, anyway,
The
let's
music
talk.
was too loud. I couldn't hear a word.
I know, but you can read them words. Ah,
Yeah, but I didn't read the words because I was doing something else.
look at you. Look at you.
Multitasking, multitasking.
Multi I call it not paying attention, but that's all right though. Multi I call it not paying attention, but that's all right though. So let's look at it. What do you think about a chocolate pearl? Is was was that a good idea? First of all,
I don't know because I told you I couldn't hear it. The music was too loud.
okay, is it a good idea for sports franchises to promote adult businesses, adult oriented businesses?
Well, I don't know if it's a good idea or bad idea, but if it's a business venture that they're venturing out for a different demographic, then that's business. Whether everybody agrees with it or not, just like when you are looking at a sports, some people like it, some people don't. So if you don't like it, don't
Right,
watch it. If you like it, watch it. But if you're
right.
into
But
adult entertainment and you want to be involved in that, then that's on you. It's a business venture. I don't care. It's your money. It's, I don't have to participate if I don't want to. You see what I'm saying? That's my opinion about it.
right.
But my
But it'd have
opinion
been
don't
shown
matter.
on TV. It'd have been shown on TV, and in the and you have a point, and that's one of the things, business is business. However, the NBA puts in that their business is family oriented,
Well, if you look at the cheerleaders and where they're dressed, they're half naked anyway.
but that's different than being a scripper. Come on now.
Right? It's different from being a stripper, but if the stripper is going to do the dances like they on the stripper pole or what have you, yeah, I think that's not appropriate. But if you look at the cheerleaders, they darn near close to what strippers do.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's Magic City was more of an icon. It was part of it. It was part of Atlanta lore over the years, especially in our communities. And Atlanta's a chocolate city. Well, probably not chocolate anymore, but it still has a lot of chocolate there. And that was a place that people went to visit when they went to Atlanta. They went to Magic City. Now, I can understand the Hawks doing a promotion talking about businesses, because think about this. Cigarettes are an adult oriented business. Do the Hawks look at that?
but they still the Hawks don't necessarily not necessarily look at that, but if there's a commercial talking about cigarettes while they're playing, what's the difference?
Well, the FCC ain't gonna do that. They don't, they haven't. We were little, we were like babies when they stopped doing cigarette
Yeah,
commercials,
they did
and
stop doing the cigarettes. Yeah,
and
but I'm just saying that it's a business endeavor. Now, as a patriot or as a what's the word I'm looking for? A person who watches particular sports and stuff. Would I like to see a stripper stripping in front of me and my kids? No, I wouldn't. Um, but would they allow on TV? Would they allow the strippers to be seen? That's another question.
well,
Because
you
you're
saying
saying
they
that
could come out as a scenario would be they would come out as regular cheerleaders and just start taking it off until they not till they were pasties and G-strings, but pretty close.
right. So if they think that they're taking their clothes off to a minimum, as opposed to be a business endeavor and it works and nobody's against it, it's up to the person who is watching that. If you want your children to watch that, that's your choice. I can't say anything. I wouldn't want my children watching it, and it probably will kill some of their revenue because of that. But like I said, it's a business choice.
Right, right. And according to the history what I pulled up, cigarette commercials were banned in the U.S. on January 2nd, 1971, via the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act that curbed smoking, particularly among youth. Previously, ads used themes of doctor recommendation, sports, glamour, and celebrity endorsement, i.e., Virginia Slims, you come a long way. I'm trying to pull up a commercial so we can see what it looks like. Give me a second. But Miss Kim, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
What do you think about what do you think about the Hawks with their proposed celebration night of Magic City?
Well, a lot of the Hawks frequent Magic City from way back from Dominique Wilkins. If you watch the new documentary that's out, you will see a lot of the basketball players that go there a lot. A lot of celebrities are, you know, there. So I can, I mean, I've never personally been to Magic City, rode by it, but not been in it. But I mean, why not profit, make a profit off of it? Your basketball players are in there anyway. So,
Right, right. No, I got you. I got you.
I mean, they're
But
spending
is
a lot of their monies in there on bottle girls and, you know, I mean, like I said, it goes way back to BMF being up in there, Dominique Wilkins, and a lot of the other players.
Yeah, that's a tough one to say. That's a tough one to say. But I'm gonna play this little about a couple of minutes of this. This is when cigarette commercials were happening.
I remember an uncle of mine whom I loved very much. He lived by the sea, and I often spent all day on the beach with him just walking along. He liked to smoke cigars, and each time he took one out, he asked me the same question. Do you like music? Yes, I'd say. Well then, here's a band for you. He'd put the Robert Burns band on my finger, and we'd go on walking in the sun. Years later, that memory made me start smoking Robert Burns. This is
Now, see how back then it was like normalized and how, you know, I started my uncles, they brought back memories and invoked memories. Now, cigarettes is another thing, but but it's in a similar vein. Miss Sum Sum, do you think that so if you could do Magic City, would you do would cigarettes make a comeback during athletic events?
Uh, so what's the difference between it? Because I'm not a smoker, but what's the difference? Because you see, what's the guy's name that I guess retired? Shannon Sharp. You see how he
Yes.
he creates a vibe of the gentleman's type of club with the cigars, and then he has his own um spirits that he created, and he makes this gentleman like vibe for the guys. So I think that is like where they're trying to go on theme. You got the beautiful women, you got the cigars, you got the whole bottles and all of that stuff. A private event, yes, definitely go for it. Most of them, not want to say most of them, but some of the players may not go. They may not be into that. These may be
Right.
for the single guys that are out here, and you know, um, now, I personally went to Magic City. My friend used to live out there. She took me on a tour, and I saw the Brat in there one night, and I was just blown away by the atmosphere. And in the midst of that, we went to another place in Atlanta, another strip club where she knew some of the young ladies who owned real estate in Georgia, who had a couple of homes and Airbnbs. So, you know, not that I'm calling these women hoes, but hoes got to eat too. And that's a whole establishment of, you know what I mean? It's a business. So a private
Right. No,
event,
and that's the thing. Nobody's really debating the legitimacy of people
Stay where it
who are into that type of industry, who work in those types of industries, because besides the strippers, you got like you said, I think Kim said the bottle girls. You
right?
got you have the bartenders, you have the security, you have the club manager, and all of those, it generates jobs, and they're selling something obviously that people want because they keep going back. But on the level of, and Miss Nikki's in Atlanta, she just texted in the YouTube chat that the Atlanta Hawks didn't cancel it, the NBA did, because of all of backlash. So is
It's a
it, I
brand.
mean,
They don't want I mean, you got to think of your brand and tarnishing your brand. And you know, uh they had I forgot that latest black exploitation with Jaleel White. I can't remember the actor's name, but they were promoting malt liquor to black neighborhoods and making fun
yeah,
of that.
but that's been a long time. And because I don't, you're a little young, but the older Gen Xers remember Billy D. Williams and um Chocolate
Coke
Pearl. What did Billy
45.
D. Williams used to sell?
That's right. Coke
Exactly.
Coke
45.
45.
Yep.
Exactly. And so, yeah, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those things on in media, they were directed and they were sold to us like that because they were commercial. Growing up, I seen commercials for Old English, Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull, Colt 45, St. Ides, and and a few other ones. Those are, yeah,
Calvin
but the
Coolers.
oh yeah, Calvin Coolers, and what was the one, Cisco?
Oh,
And I
jeez.
used to like to call it Crisco because you got fried if you drink a couple of
So
those.
did.
But it was, in lower income neighborhoods, vices are readily peddled, so they're going to do commercials like that. But today, with the NBA, because in this, if you think about it, it was after the '70s because players were getting drunk and high on the bench during the games, and they there was so much Colombian marching powder or the booger sugar that they had it they had a lot of places, but my point is, and like I said, it's a pro that they recognize a significant industry within Atlanta. However, you can't do that and promote yourself as being a family, a family type deal. And I think that's why the NBA, that's why because for them to have it, it had to been approved in advance. They just wasn't going to do, well, I'm just going to do Magic City yesterday and then tomorrow I have it out. No, it was planned. So the NBA knew about it. The backlash became probably too much for them to cancel it. So if you're looking at it like that, we are, you know, and as Chocolate Pro said, it's a business, it's legitimate. They pay their taxes, they bring employment to the areas, but it's not it's not something that's readily packaged because you don't everybody saw the movie Players Club. If you didn't, I advise you to go see it. It showed the seedier side of that industry. And in basketball, you're indoors, you bring your kids, it's a family thing, and they might not even had no polls. Go ahead, Dabs.
Yeah, I just want to. I had to jump in on this one because I saw a little something about that thing come up today. And as far as being a parent and a teacher, as much as stuff is out there already, we don't need the NBA. We don't need sports bringing that kind of stuff into the scene. That's just you're just spreading to a bigger audience that don't need to hear about it if they have it. They just happen to be at a game and this comes up. I mean, there's no hiding it at that point in time. Um, and I'm glad the NBA shut it down. And I'm sad that the Hawks even thought of doing something like that. It's actually terrible, not thinking about it's a family thing. People bring their kids to the game all the time. It doesn't make any sense to me to even think of coming up with something like that. I don't care if it's business or not. That's just like you said, the smoking went away. You don't see any. You might see a beer commercial. You don't see no liquor commercial or nothing like that during the games and stuff. That just
Nah,
it's not
because
necessary.
they would
Yeah,
probably have a Hennessy commercial.
yeah, that would have already been happening. Yeah,
Well,
or or Cavassier or E&J. Because
right.
if you can't afford that hen dog, you're gonna get that E&J. Or what's the other one? Paul Masson.
Parmesan. Yeah.
Yeah, raise your hand if you had Paul Masson before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You had some.
for me,
You had
Had
some.
that easy Jesus, that irk and jerk, Nadine
Yep.
Club.
The E and
Hey,
J.
trust me,
Right.
we used to have it all, but I wouldn't. They do have print. They do have in the arenas and stadiums. They do have print
Right.
hard liquor commercials, but they don't advertise it during the game. Because I remember the last liquor commercials I remember that wasn't really hard liquor, but it was cold. You remember Harvey's Bristol Cream?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Those
yeah, I
commercials.
remember that.
It's a liqueur, which is technically liquor, but it's not liquor, if that makes sense. But
It's supposed to be a
those are the
dull
last.
down liquor or something like that, not as
Yeah,
strong.
yeah. Some. You ever had Harvey's Bristol Cream?
No, sir.
Okay. How about Reuniti
Real needy
on
and
ice?
ice on ice or something like that.
Yeah,
I still drink
Love me
some
some real Nini.
Lambrusco every now and then, a little bit of that Lambrusco.
but they used to back in the 70s, 80s, those commercials was especially when we lived in New York, those was like kids were singing those songs. Reuniti on ice, twice as nice.
I was gonna say that's nice. That's what it said.
Yeah,
That's
that's
nice.
it. You right. That's
Yeah.
nice. And then they had
Twice as nice.
They had that Harvey's Bristol cream. They had Rheingold commercials. They had like and they those were the more commercials. But and even beers do, Budweiser owns the St. Louis Cardinal baseball team. So yeah, it's
Right.
not they do have parts, but they're not it's part of Americana, whereas something like gentlemen's clubs may not be. Um, Also, because it becomes a slippery slope. If you allow Magic City and businesses like that to have a night, why not have um a dispensary night? You
Oh,
know, a roll 'em and
represent
smoke 'em night.
420. Represent 420. Having 420 parade.
Exactly. Exactly. The NBA is not going to do that. So why would you do? Why would you? And I'm playing both sides of the fence, but I'm trying to get this conversation, keep the conversation going. If you and understand that it's still legitimate, but there's some things that you shouldn't do. Miss Kim, what do you think if your favorite team had a dispensary commercial, or they had a dispensary night at their local arena?
I do not agree. You talking about with the MJ?
Well, the THC dispensaries, um, up here in Virginia, we have one called Beyond Hello. Um, I don't think the Wizards are going to use them because they got plenty. Colorado, Washington State, where the first two states to legalize it, and
Definitely
you
Washington.
don't. Yeah, you still don't see those teams promoting that stuff. And like I
No.
said, adults are going to do adult things, but having a strip club night for children, that does not set a good example,
Nope.
because you want them to be somewhat moral, somewhat upright. We, we all fall short of the
What
glory
was
of
the
God. So I'm
reasoning?
not going to say
Mm.
I'm not gonna say we totally moral and upright. We try to be. We press towards the mark of the high calling, which is Christ Jesus. But
What was the
understanding that,
reasoning?
Was the
Was the
reasoning
reasoning
just so
just so
they
they
can
can
uh,
uh,
make
make
money
money
off
off
that
that
night or
night or
something?
something?
no, they wanted to celebrate. The Hawks wanted to celebrate a local icon in the
Oh, and they
area.
chose that. Okay, and they chose that.
Yeah, yeah. Because they probably have a Coca-Cola night. They probably have a Delta night. Delta Airlines, not Delta Sigma Theta. They,
I thought it was gonna say
local
Delta Sigma Theta.
iconic. Those are iconic parts of Atlanta. So they probably have those type of days, but those are not as controversial as Magic City, or another famous club they had there. It was a nightclub. It wasn't a strip club, but 112, or that they call it One Tweezy. So it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag, and just I thought you were about to say
I'm
something,
just
Trey.
glad that the NBA decided not to do it because, like you said, sports is a family thing. It's not just an adult thing. It's a family thing. And, family means children. And you do not want to influence children in the negative way. That's up to the parent to raise their children or let their children know about different adult things. That's their choice.
Right.
It shouldn't be the public's choice of allowing children to see or experience adult things
Before their time.
before their
Now,
time, right?
I'm going to tell on myself, but in the 70s and 80s, we would go to 42nd Street. And if y'all
Hmm.
have never been to New York, 42nd Street is a main thoroughfare in the borough of Manhattan. When we were growing up, they called it the Deuce. And the connotation from the Deuce was that it was a lot of adult industries out
P
there.
ladies. Yep, P ladies.
Yeah, they had all of that. They had all of that open SW. They had the peep shows, they had the movies, and it was all concentrated on that. Now it's
Hmm.
Disney. Now it's Disney. So
That was a
you go on,
huge twist.
yeah, you go to Times Square where they drop the ball at, and you go and it's you see Mufasa. You don't see no bare naked ladies or nothing like that. I mean it's changed. So although something is legal and legitimate does not mean everybody
That
has to
everybody
be
needs to indulge in, right?
right. And I'm not saying that we're a prude country, but most of us do lean a little conservative. You bet, black people like whatever you do in your bedroom's your business as long as the person's consenting and legal. But most of us don't be going out there, um, you know, showing our stuff. Well, they do, the younger people do, but we didn't do that. I say if you are 45 and older, just be glad the internet was not a thing when you were in your
Okay.
20s.
Okay.
Just be glad. I know. I'm not saying I think. I know I'd have been canceled. I would not be in the military. I would not have been in the military. I would have been canceled because I did some of the dirt I did that these kids are. You can go online and you can see it. They live their lives vicariously online. Well, we had to go and touch concrete because we ain't had that much grass in the projects, but we were outside and not outside the way they mean outside. But that's, like I said, it's a different time. And our parents, you didn't know till you got older that your parents are probably into some freaky stuff. They kept it to where you
You
might
waited till
hear
your
something.
parents, and you waited till
Yeah.
your parents went to sleep just so you can watch the Benny Hill show. Oh, I
Oh
just
yeah.
dated myself.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Benny Hill show. I remember
You
I used to
remember that?
we used to sit in front of the TV
Yep.
and wait for a boob to flash. I'll be like, give me the
Yeah.
boob, boob. But I'm a male, so that's what we do. But anyhow, it's quite interesting on this topic, and like I said, it was brought up to me, and even though they canceled it, it still resonates in how they see us because Magic City wasn't a club for everybody. There's a certain demographic that frequented that, and that was kind of, and like I said, people got to, like you said, people got to eat. Scrippers got to eat. Scrippers got to have a
Hmm.
roof over their head. But the overall thing, why couldn't they do an Atlanta University Center celebration? Celebrating Morehouse, Spelman, Morris Brown,
Yeah,
Clark,
right. All those different schools, they could have
Atlanta
celebrated
Theological
there.
Seminary. Why couldn't they have something like that? And because that's just as much as Atlanta as Magic City was. Miss Kim, you're from Georgia and you've been to and through Atlanta. I know you don't like it. You didn't like it that much there. What do you think? What do you think caused them to think like that? That it would be a good idea?
Oh, I I really don't know why they would choose Magic City, unless the only thing I could think of is marketing base. Maybe the clientele maybe not as good anymore, and they trying to get more people to come out. I really don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is marketing and advertising to get clientele, more people to come back to Magic City. I
Is
don't
it
know if
dying
people
out or
freak.
something?
Say that again.
Is Magic City dying down or something?
Well, just from what I was watching, I don't think the original owner still own it. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I just don't know. It's been a minute since I watched it, but I don't think many people, I'm just saying, I know a lot of people that I know that's been there. They basically say they go there, during the day for the wings. They said Magic City had the best wings. I wouldn't
they
know.
always say they always say the stripper clubs has the best wings.
Wings, yeah. And I've heard it. I don't know. But that's the only thing I can say is for marketing purposes to boost the clientele again. I really don't know.
Yeah, but that's, no, I get you. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Um, we, it's, yeah, I think they just wanted to celebrate that icon, but there's other ways of doing it. And I personally wouldn't have done that, but I guess somebody said it sounded like a good idea at the time, and ain't so they ain't going to, they might say they have the best wings because there was a former NBA player that was in there, and that's what he said he was in there for to get the wings. I'm like, ain't wings that good? What they yeah, ain't no wings that good. They were looking at the breast and thighs. They wasn't looking at no daggone wings. They were there for the breast and thighs.
But that's what I mean. Everybody was saying, "Oh, we go to Magic City for the wings." So I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I take that the same way former President Clinton said, I smoked marijuana, but I didn't inhale.
Yeah.
Sure you did. Miss Sum, you've been to Magic City. What was your experience there?
I don't. So it wasn't all that. It was just like almost like a warehouse looking type of vibe. Bunch of poles, girls doing tricks on the poles, and girls walking around with the garter belts on their thighs with the money on it. No, just breast out, walking around, just hey, how you doing? Type vibe. You want to dance? No, I'm good, thank you. Type, you know what I mean? But it wasn't nothing stood out to me like, oh, this is so nice. The seating, the furniture, the atmosphere. It just looked like a warehouse with just a bunch of
I can
things.
imagine being hot and smelly up in there,
It was just a
That's what
bunch of
just
Dad said.
things.
stinking.
The-
I was like,
all the
wow.
juices all over it.
And so
Yes,
I
I
went,
wouldn't even want to eat, drink, or
no,
sit
I know I
down.
didn't. I didn't. So we went to the bar area and the ladies were walking around and stuff. And I just kept thinking to myself, I was like, damn. I said, you got to be in a certain frame of mind to even do this. This is some deep stuff. But I mean, they used to it. That's their life and that's what they're accustomed to. But as far as my impression, it was nothing to write home about. I cannot honestly say, y'all gotta go. It's beautiful. They did a really great job in there and all of this stuff. No, It's like, give me your money type vibe.
Oh yeah, that's because basically it's a business. They got to make money. Um, Here they used to be a relatively new type of strip club up here in the DC area. It was in Maryland, and I forgot the name of it, but it was catered for the ladies. Women strip, but it was more like a club. It was more like a club with women stripping on the pole. And the line was going out the door. Now I've never been in there, but I've seen the videos, line of women and guys just in there. And I don't know, the club didn't last that long, but they also had one in the Dallas area where it didn't look
Was
like.
that the one in DC? Was that the stadium, the one that had the five
Yeah, the
star restaurant
stadium.
inside?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
been to the
stadium.
stadium before with a birthday party. We went to the restaurant in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I mean, the line was out the door, and it wasn't just guys. It was a lot of women because women enjoyed that atmosphere. It wasn't the raunchy. It wasn't the raunchy, sliding on that pole. Do they sanitize those poles between sets? Does anybody know?
No,
Nope.
they probably don't.
No, yeah,
So
they do. They do. So the they come out with the spray and then they wipe the pole down and then they put the stuff to the side and then they do their little dance.
Now, who would
yeah.
want that job? Wiping down juices. Really?
Yeah, that's
Mm-mm.
what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, that's like kind of like sticking an ice cream pop in your coochie and then handing it to somebody. Here, taste this.
Yeah.
Oh my
That is just
That's the way I look at it.
disgusting.
I guess I
That's the
won't be
way
having that ice cream, that icicle tonight. But
that's I mean it's the same way if you put nasty coochie on a pole and nasty coochie follows the nasty coochie and there ain't no cleaning, don't tell them what that I wouldn't want to touch that pole with a 10-foot pole.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and it
It's
was
gross.
crazy. And the night we went, they had a feature. The one of the ladies was a porn star. So I was like, okay.
So she declared she went pro instead of being a scripper. She said, "I'm going all the way."
Mm.
And
whew.
you know
Did you have
the
the
crazy
wings
part.
when you was there?
No, Dr. Pearl.
No, we actually, so in the stadium, there is a five-star restaurant with chefs. You could see them cooking. It was beautiful inside. They had white tablecloths, and then you walk through a pathway, and on the other side of the pathway is the strip club. But the restaurant was like top tier. It was beautiful. The atmosphere, the furniture, everything. It was like they put a lot into it. It was beautiful. I was shocked. I was absolutely in awe. I didn't even want to go to the other side with the birthday people, but I had to go because they were kicking us out after a while. But yeah.
Mm-mm.
so so you went to see you got coochie and tater tots.
I ain't give nobody my money. I stood over by the door and it was so funny because one of my friends looked at the main event, the porn star, I forgot her name, and said, she said, hell, she said, she the main event? She's like, shit, I could do that. She ain't
Mm.
doing nothing I could do. And I fell out laughing because she was like, that's her body and that gets, she was like, shoot, we can all make some money if that's the case. She ain't nothing special.
Yeah, if you don't like your dignity, busting it open on OnlyFans is a viable path. As if you don't want dignity. If you ain't got no dignity, that's one of those things.
At least you could do the
But yeah,
asshole.
yeah, but it's funny though, because how we look at things, and like I said, black people in general are mostly we're not prudes anything, but we're socially we're socially when it comes to that, we're very conservative.
Weren't we
And
always on display though? Didn't they display
yeah,
an
yeah, but
African
that's
woman with her behind and everything
yeah,
that she's like really known?
Sarah Bartman. Um, she had a black woman booty, and funny thing about that is that I don't know if you look back in the history books to the mid 1800s, the late 1800s, the women will walk around and they have a hump in their derriere area. You see the dresses in Victorian area.
Yep.
That was based off of Sarah Bartman, and she was looked at as like a specimen, and but that's how it was back then. Not, and I definitely don't condone that. But yes, we have been on display. I mean, we're on display today. That the sports leagues that are dominated by us are nothing but meat markets. They don't want us for our brains. They want us to look at, they get um a sick kind of pleasure in looking at black bodies. nearly naked men, nearly naked women. They like looking at it, and that's where they get the money. But I'm still trying to understand how the Atlanta Hawks thought this was a good idea in any sense of form. In any sense of form. That's just crazy. So looking at that, I'm gonna shut down the show a little early today. Got a long been had a long day the last couple of days at work. They're trying to kill me. I want everybody to know I thank y'all for this talk. And if y'all got any subjects, send them to me. My email is DELITE, the number 7 at gmail.com. I do take your suggestions seriously. And if you're in YouTube land, if you're in TikTok land, please like and share. And I want y'all before we go, I'll first start with Apple. I know she's in the polls trying to figure out how her new phone works.
You got jokes? I'm learning. I'm learning. I just got it today.
All right, all right, all right. Hey,
Good night,
have fun with
everybody.
have
It's
I
fun
still
was
an
with
a
it.
little
apple.
lost with this topic because I'm not interested in strippers or football, the sports ball or whatever y'all were talking about. But it seemed like
You sound like
everybody,
my son, sports ball.
oh, that's my nephew. There you go. But it sounded like, you guys enjoyed it, and that's all that matters.
I
Um,
I appreciate you.
so I'm signing off from Columbia, South Carolina. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Chocolate pearl,
Is it an
chocolate
Apple
pearl.
phone or a Droid?
Girl, you know I don't mess with them droids.
You
I
Don't
you
don't
wanted
about
you
play
to
to
with
cut
me.
join the old
you about to
folks
get
like me.
cussed. You about to get
I
cussed if
wanted you to
talk
join
about
the old
that.
folks like me.
I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet.
Yeah, no, no, no. That's not that in the things that ain't gonna happen, that ain't gonna happen. Go on, chocolate pearl. Say your piece.
Well, I thank y'all so much. I was down earlier because I was stressed to the max. But this topic kind of lifted me up and y'all allowed me to laugh. And thank you so very much. So now I could probably sleep peaceful because it's off my heart. It's off my heart. So thank y'all for joining us today with this crazy topic. And hopefully y'all got something out of it. If not, you got a good old laugh. And I'm
Definitely.
signing out at Duval.
Definitely. Keep in mind, DJ Dabs and Chocolate Pearls. Big day is in July the 11th, 7-Eleven in St. Mary's, Georgia. If you're not familiar with it, it's about 10 minutes from the Florida border, about 30 minutes from Jacksonville International Airport. So if y'all wanna pay, also, I'm looking at launching a website to help Chocolate Pearl sell stuff. More to come. I'm gonna take a little off the top, but I'm just telling you
You
up
you
front.
see our company name has changed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely need to let me know so I can get that
Red and
going.
Yellow Company. Red and Yellow
Okay.
Co.
It sounds like a daggone cab.
Hey, Red and Yellow Co. If that cab's gonna take me to some good old financial freedom, then hey, let it sound like a cab.
But that's what's up. I love you. And we always, we kid and we joke, but hey, my sisters got my back and I got theirs. So at the end of the night, just enjoy yourself. Be the best person you can be for yourself, and don't let the haters get after you or try to steal your joy. This is DFG, and I'm about to sign off. And before I go, we're gonna have some fun. On the behalf of myself, DFG, Chocolate Pearl, Apple, and Bean, we want to thank you for watching our show. Please come back, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.